So for those of you who have been following me, you know how careful I've been in what I introduce into the system as to not to get any kind of pests or nuisance critters. Well, despite my best efforts, I am looking here at a piece of Aptasia that who knows where it came from. Trying to get it with the camera here, but it is right above my finger, and that's just one little piece of Aptasia, and I am sure that there's going to be more, because that little piece of Aptasia is actually on dry rock, dry reef saver rock. So my suspicions are that the Aptasia came from one of the rocks that I put in, and I only put in maybe 3-5 pounds of live rock, and it had very smooth surfaces, such as this one here and that one there. They're all about the same size rocks, but anyhow, yep, Aptasia in the tank. So now I got to carefully inspect everything and get some Aptasia X and feed these guys some Aptasia X to get rid of them. But I suspect it's going to be a long-term battle with these guys as they continuously pop up here and there now that the Aptasia is introduced into the system. Something I really did not want to happen, but it did. So lesson learned. As careful as I was, yet I still have the nuisance pests in the tank that I'll be dealing with. Let's continue on. Okay, here's the Aptasia X that I'll be using to medicate the single Aptasia that I found in the system. Although I've only found one Aptasia plant on the dry rock, I suspect that I'll be having additional Aptasia growing here and there. But as I see it, I'll be treating it with this Aptasia X, which is just like a glue that the Aptasia will eat. It seals off their mouth and they actually implode on themselves. There's a great video out if you wanted to see it on Aptasia X that demonstrates how this stuff works. I'll be trying my best to capture how the medication affects the Aptasia. So stay tuned, we'll see what happens. This is what you'll get when you open the box of Aptasia X. You get the medicine here, instructions, the syringe, and then 2 syringe tips. One's curved for harder to reach places, and one straight for the easier to reach places. I want to thank Jeremiah Murray for turning me onto this product, as he's used it successfully in his tank, and hopefully I'll have the same success using it in mine. So I'm going to go ahead and feed this thing and see what happens. Here's the Aptasia. I went ahead and shut off the pump so that I don't have too much water circulation. And what I'm going to do right here is start feeding it from afar so it gets the feel of the food, or what it thinks is food, and hopefully start eating it. And at the same time, the Aptasia is going to hopefully prevent it from spawning any seeds and spreading more Aptasia to the rest of the tank. So let's go ahead and try it. Yeah, I think I went a little too fast there. But he is definitely covered up in the Aptasia X. I didn't necessarily do it the way the instructions did. I didn't realize that the pressure was going to be so minimal. But you can see him there covered, and we will check back in with him and see what he looks like in a little bit. It's been several hours since I've placed the Aptasia X on the Aptasia, and as you can see, the Aptasia is pretty much gone. There's just a little bit of a stump left there, but nothing to recognize it as a piece of Aptasia. So it looks like the Aptasia has done its thing. At this point, I am going to continue monitoring the tank for additional Aptasia plants and continue using the Aptasia X. And I would recommend it after having used it this one time to anyone who has an Aptasia problem and wants to get rid of it. Aptasia X is about $15 for the small bottle that I used today, but it seems to work, and I'll continue using it if I see any additional Aptasias. Alright, that'll conclude the video. Thanks for watching.